Oh, okay. I gotta add myself to the stream. Hello, hello, hello. I am live. If you are new to my channel or seeing me for the first time, I am known as the Queen of Credit. I'm looking for my reading glasses just in case I need them. Maybe I won't, right? Maybe I won't. I usually have them in close proximity, right? Just in case, but I'm known as the Queen of Credit because of my results in the credit restoration, repair, and revisioning world. So as you coming in, say hello. Jesus is from Maine. Dave Sincere, hello, how are you? We got Curtis in from the South. Jesus is from California. Jesus, how are things in California with the wild fires and et cetera, et cetera? How's everything going? In California, are you safe? Et cetera, et cetera. Is everyone safe? And as you're coming in, if you're watching me on YouTube, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Hello, Trey Lincoln, for coming in. Trey is in. We have also Atlanta. Hello, from the South. Atlanta is in the house as well. A different type of South in Atlanta, right? A little bit better financial opportunities, right, for minorities in the South in Atlanta and that part of the South. Patrick says, Ash, my beautiful spirit, that sister you are doing. Thank you so much for beautiful compliments. Hello from Nashville. Nashville is in. All right. Okay, we got people from all over the states. We have TK Jam from West Los Angeles is in and joining us. TK, hello. Some people are just saying hello. Hello to you as well. We have about it's 2 minutes and 30 seconds in the 5 minutes of fame. I didn't put my my clock up, right? Hello from Freeport, Texas. Is in Freeport, Texas. The fires are a few hours away of North Los Angeles. So Los Angeles, praying that you all get that under control. I never could figure out why California is one of the most prosperous states, right? And the highest cost of living states, but yet they never seem to be able to get control of the wild fires there. I never really understood that. Hello, Latoya from Jacksonville, Florida, on Periscope. Make sure that you share this on your scope for me and give me some hearts and digital love on Periscope. Big Mac on Periscope, you inspire me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's Big Packing player. All right. What a name, right? We got Long Beach. Hello, Long Beach, Cali is in the house as well. Hello, Long Beach. Yes, Curtis, Atlanta does have great startup opportunities. We have approximately 75 more seconds for the 5 minutes of fame. Queen, you have any luck with removals from Santander? I do. Yes, I do, Trey. If you all don't know, he's speaking of the Santander charge off and the lawsuit against Santander for having their loans, predatory loans. If you don't know what predatory means, you have the word pray in there, right? Not like praying for someone, but pray, P-R-E-Y, not P-R-A-Y, where there are a lot of lawsuits from the attorney generals from different states that Santander issue out subprime loans, meaning that high interest rates, right? Very high interest rate to people that they know did not qualify, right? Hello from Miami. Hello, Miami's in the house. We have 7 seconds, so let me get down. Tico is saying hello to everyone. Good night, good afternoon to you. It's still afternoon my time on Periscope. Georgia is in the building. right? Yes, we are praying for the people in California that's affected. Trey says they're stealing out of water from the fuel to water. They're stealing out of water to fuel the product market. Wow. Yeah, I never really understood um, why California couldn't really get control of those wildfires, right? Because all of your monetary gains that you all have in California. Okay, another person that needs help with Santander as well. They can't fix the fire. Okay. Just like they can't fix the fire issue. And this is our 5 minutes of fame. It's at the 6 minute mark. So let's get into the topic that you all, or that we are already bringing up. But Patricia, hello to you. And Atlanta City, New Jersey, my last shout out. And my Periscope, Spiritual Man. Hello, Spiritual Man on Periscope. What a handsome profile picture, Spiritual Man. I don't know if that's your actual picture, right? But a very handsome profile picture. Spiritual Man on Periscope. So terrible politics is the reason why they can't fix the fire issues in Southern California. I'm assuming that's why they can't fix the water issue, right? In Michigan, right? And so can be fixed, won't fix it. So that's what we live in today. The same thing that I think about this health pandemic, right? So this has been a very busy weekend for me. Look at my stack. And I'm not even finished. This is my credit stack that goes to the USPS on tomorrow, right? This is my credit stack. I mean, it's been that type of weekend. It has been that type of weekend. So if you're someone that paid for your credit analysis on Thursday, and I'm not even finished, I still have, this is actually my daughter's, I'm doing my daughter's dispute, right? For her, she had an unexpected medical collection to pop up on her credit report. And so we will get into FICO 10 and those unexpected pop-up that many people are having. So I will mail her thing as well. And I will get into FICO 10. Make sure that you all also, right, hit the thumbs up if you are watching on YouTube, Facebook, if you're live on Facebook, then like and share to your personal page as well. And Periscope, keep hitting those hearts and share with your followers and invite them in the room on and invite them into the room so they can get this knowledge as well on Periscope. So let me start with the unemployment, right? Let me start with the unemployment. And Michigan can't get that together for some reason. Trying to find my Periscope. Give me 1 second as I pull my article up. Can't find a particular. Okay, here we go. And so let me pull this article up. We're going to get into unemployment, and I'll end it with credit with FICO 10. No, she didn't have a medical issue, Jesus. She just had a medical collection to hit her credit report. So I'm just assuming that she went to the to a clinic or something on those terms, and she, I don't know, maybe forgot to pay on the account or something. But at any rate, the collection company from the clinic that she went to reported it on her credit report. So But no worries, it's going to be off. Um, I'm going to get it out for her. So will FICO 10 be beneficial for us if we have made drastic improvements with credit over the last 2 years? Yes, if you made improvements with your credit in the last 2 years, it will be very beneficial to you. If there's a private Facebook group that I'm in, for example, that's discussing, oh boy, this is a thick envelope. I'm gonna have to take this one. That's discussing how people are having conversations about how people with 800 credit scores and things of that nature are not getting approved for like the Chase Freedom cards. And the reason why that is because their credit scores are high, right? We're talking about 800s. And if I can find that post, I'll pull it up. We're talking about an 800 credit score. However, that person just got some negatives removed off of their credit report. And most recently, and so it looked at their history, right? A more in-depth history of their credit, and they were not approved. And then also with the FICO 10, you have to remember that with FICO 10, that the first phase of FICO 10 that came into effect is the resilience score. So the resilience score determines your financial ability to repay if you receive new credit, or your current employment, right? Your current employment status is take all of that into account as well. So yes, we are just discussing specifically the 300 unemployment and the FICO 10. A bulk of my bad credits from collections and charge-offs. If you're in the 4 to 5 year range, Latoya, then you should be fine. It's no longer calculated to your credit, right? No longer calculated to your credit. Or it's no longer affecting your credit score. So let's share my screen. Unemployment. Will the extra 300 unemployment benefits start? This is coming from USA Today. Don't expect it anytime soon, experts warn. And so the 400, as the article reads, the 400 in extra unemployment aid for millions of out-of-work Americans is actually 300 in most states. I think Arizona right now, if I've read the news correctly over the past few days, Arizona right now is the only state that's actually paying the 300 in addition to the 100, right? Or they're stating that they can qualify. So, but most won't arrive for weeks, experts warn, right? And so Americans, the article goes on to state, may just get this was the point that this just really baffled me. I was shocked when I read this. Not surprised, but shocked. Americans may just get 3 weeks worth of payments according to guidance from the that's FEMA, Federal Emergency Management Agency, which will run the relief program through its disaster relief fund following an executive action from President Donald J. Trump this month. So let me read that again. You may, even with the $300, it may just be 3 weeks worth of payments. 3 weeks worth of payment. Unbelievable. So after the Rona aid talks hit and in Congress, Trump called for $300 per week federal funded jobless benefit for workers who were unemployed due to the pandemic, which states asked to provide and another $100 a week. But the legality, and this is what I'm emphasizing, legality of Trump's memorandum remains up in the air. FEMA The Federal Emergency Management Agency typically funds emergency responses to natural disasters, and states can't normally pay unemployment insurance that isn't authorized by Congress. So Congress still have to authorize this, everyone, right? So those emergency funds to natural disasters, the states can't pay unemployment, right, insurance if Congress does not authorize this, and it is still pending if Congress is giving this authorization. Now, I'm from Mississippi, and in my state, the local news is reporting that Mississippi has qualified under FEMA, right, to receive the unemployment benefits of the additional $100 because Mississippi is one of those states that's saying we cannot afford it, right? We can't afford it. And so they applied for FEMA, but it was not broadcast in the local news that this may only last up to 3 weeks. And also, Congress has to give this rights of approval, right? Because this is it, and currently right now, Mississippi, we may experience natural disasters. There are 2 tropical storms, and so the southern part of Mississippi, the Gulf Coast, is maybe why we got approved so early, right? But it says here that the $300 per week for federal funded job benefits for those who are unemployed, right? And the states provide 100, but this is something that has to be authorized by Congress because the FEMA funds usually emergency responses to natural disasters, and this is why Mississippi or maybe states like California that's having wildfires and things like that will be on the books first for approval in the event that we experience some natural disasters with these. And Louisiana as well is one of the states I think that got the approval, and maybe Texas as well because this tropical storm, and maybe Florida and Georgia that's expected to happen in the next couple of days will have something to do with it. But it's just not based on our president signing or taking executive action because this still has to go through Congress for their rights of approval. So states have to refigure their systems to distribute the funds, which threatens to result in long delays, according to Andrew Stetner, senior fellow at the Century Foundation. It will take weeks, if not months, wow, for states to set up new procedures. It's unfortunate because people cannot find work. We just don't have enough jobs out here. We need to be boosting these benefits. So let's read this other article. Insulin. I'm trying to, did it come up? Right. Okay, so let me see if it's shared. So this is still something that's not set in stone. It's not, it's saying it can take weeks for it to occur, or even months. And then even if the 300, in addition to the additional 100 by states actually does occur, that it can only last for a very short period of time, which is 3 weeks. So just because the executive order or the action was put into place does not mean that it is set in stone that it will happen. Congress has to give the approval. And as far as I know, I have not read anything stating that Congress has approved this, right? That Congress has approved it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Jesus says, yes, they always make it difficult, but nothing like leveraging credit knowledge to turn the tables, right? I'm not sure about that. I don't. Now there is some discrepancy amongst minorities approval for. It's not usually a 25,000 credit limit. We're talking about the bigger lines of loans from the banks to do real investing with, which is usually in the six figures categories. But usually discrimination for a $25,000 credit limit is not as high as it would be if you're trying to get a loan from the bank to invest. And a lot of that is just, yes, it is harder for minorities to get credit in some cases and instances, but also, right, um, also it's also because of the education that most minority have and their ability to keep their cash flow statements intact to show that they're credit worthy, right? And let's go back to the education about credit education. A lot of minorities have not accepted, right? Accepted the fact that you can use debt and credit to invest. They're so debt free conscious, right? They're so debt free conscious of wanting to be debt free and thinking that this will free me financially. It will free you of having anything paying out of your pocket every month, right? That doesn't pay you back, which is a level of financial freedom. But debt, or I like to call it credit, can also be used in a reversal to get cheap money for cheap from the banks so that you can invest in real assets to get a greater return on your investment, right? And so I think it's a combination of things, a lack of financial education, a lack of knowing how to use credit to invest, and knowing how to use debt to invest, and understanding there's good debt and bad debt. And again, bad debt is anything you pay out of your pocket every month that doesn't pay you back. A very simple definition for me. Anything that you pay out of your pocket or your bank account or your purse, whatever you want to pay it out of every month, that does not pay you back. And this is what people don't understand, the different types of cash flow, right? They just think that cash flow is money flowing in to them, flowing to them. They don't understand that cash flow is also money coming back to you, right? That you spend out in the form of taxes. And because, to be quite honest with you, 90% of people are employees or in this cash flow quadrant bracket, right? 90%, 90% of people are in this bracket. So, or they make money on this side of the quadrant. Either they're an employee or they're an independent contractor, or they are solo within the LLC, or within a specialist, doctor, lawyer, and Robert Kiyosaki also says S for stupid. So you have 90% of people that make their money on this side of the cash flow quadrant, and they are getting taxed the highest. And they don't understand that their biggest form of taxes, right? Their biggest form of debt, let's say that the biggest form of debt is taxes. That's your biggest payout. And that's because they don't understand leverage. They only understand labor. Working independently and working alone. And that you're taught that at a very early age, and it starts systematically in the school systems, right? To teach you to work alone, to do solo, not to depend on your classmates or your peers for answer, right? So, right, it's nothing like leveraging credit to turn the tables. So there is a form of discrimination, I will agree, but it's also a form of discrimination and a combination of lack of credit education and knowledge. Easy said Trump is not as powerful as his voters thought. We have democracy of checks and balances. Local elections have equal power because they determine who your senators um, and congressmen. Yeah. Well, they're actually coming with FICO 10 because in 2008, 2009, out of that home crisis, FICO 8 rolled out, right? FICO 8. And a lot of people during that time in the 2009, 2010 filed bankruptcies, right? And those bankruptcies are scheduled, the Chapter 7 bankruptcies are scheduled to file off this year in 2020, right? If you filed in 2010. So they know that. They know that a lot of negative items, like a bankruptcy that was filed during the housing crash in '08, is filing out within the last 2 years. And so what they're saying is we don't want to loan our money to risky borrowers, right? Their credit profile may look good on paper, and as well as they already knew that this economic crisis was coming, right? And so, yes, FICO 10 will make it additional harder for people to get qualified for loans because it's going to look at a 2-year history more in depth of your credit report. Phase 1 has already rolled out in July and is referred to as the resilience score. It's phase 1. Phase 2 probably will take place as the economy get worse and worse during October, during the fall of phase 2, meaning when actual banks will actually adopt it. Because right now, FICO 8 and FICO 9 is still widely used for approval of credit cards, right? And FICO 2, 3, and 5 in some areas are what's used for FHA loans and mortgages, right? So, yeah, protect themselves from bad borrowers. Well, they implemented FICO 8 some years ago, right? Yeah, leverage is better. I'm just reading some of the comments. Some of it I'm going to elaborate on. Um, yeah, leverage is better than labor. So, said, come on, Jesus, with the political answers. FICO tends to protect the banks and to discriminate against the poor little gangs. I don't think FICO 10 is to protect the banks. And let's be honest, if you were lending money to someone and you had some type of profile to go by to look into their credit history, you as a personal person, if you lent money to your niece or your nephew or your cousin, right, or your aunt or your uncle, and you know that they are not good at paying their bills, then you wouldn't want to lend them money either. So banks have a right to certain protection, even though banks already have thousands of dollars, millions of dollars rather, let me recoup that, set up in the event that loans become into default. And that's why I told people about 3 months ago, now is not the time for you to be paying off unsecured debt. And if you don't know what unsecured debt is, it's more like credit cards debt, debts that have no collateral to them, right? Or if you got into a bad vehicle loan, right, and the vehicle has depreciated in value, and you know it's not a dependent vehicle anyway, has a lot of maintenance issues, then why would you continue to pour your money into things that, like Santander we talked about, that may not be dependable or cost you more out-of-pocket expenses, or why would you not stack cash to pay for your essential bills and essential living expenses, but rather throw a wad of cash into an unsecured account line like a credit card. So I inform people that if you have at least 6 months to a year of expenses saved up, then that would be a good move, a good chess move, right? It's chess and not checkers to pay off a credit card debt. But other than that, banks have already taken out millions of dollars for expecting of defaulted credit card debt. So that would be the last in other words, I would pay up my house mortgage up to a year, right? If I had $10,000 or $12,000 saved up in savings before I would pay off a $10,000 credit card debt. Now that's just me, because my house or my mortgage or my rent in some cases is a collateral loan, meaning that I can get repossessed, or my house can be foreclosed on, or I can be evicted out of my apartment or my condo or my townhouse if I'm a renter, if I don't have the monthly payments, right? So yes, leverage income is better than labored income. Do merchant accounts and net 30s accounts help build business credit? They do, but it's going to take you a longer time to take that route. And you have to make sure that you're actually getting accounts that you will use and not you would just spend money for to build business credit, because in that situation, it's a faster route to use your personal credit to be a personal guarantee to build business credit versus getting a Quill Net 30 account or Office Depot or Staples, and you don't really need to use those products for your business services. Now, if you are a trucker, for example, and you get a gas card, or you are a contractor and you get a Home Depot or Lowe's cards, and you're actually going to use gas and or construction products for your business, then it will be wise then to get a Net 30 Home Depot Lowe's card to build your credit, but your business credit. But at some point, to get the major business credit cards, you're going to have to leverage your personal credit, right? You're going to have to leverage your personal credit. Banks get to rob people and get bailouts at the same time. Somewhat true. Yeah, that's somewhat true, right? And so that's why I always tell people your last debts, no matter if you're using a debt snowball or something, your last debts that you should be concerned about paying is unsecured debt, right? You want to get those secured debts paid off first. And I know, now let me restate that, because if you got credit cards with a less than a credit score that will position you to get credit cards with single digit or zero interest rate like I have, and you're paying double digit interest rates for credit cards, and you don't want to use other methods to pay those credit cards off, such as bankruptcy, charge-offs, right? A charge-off is when the banks decide that they're going to, after 6 months of non-payment, that they will then write that debt off that you did not repay them as a tax write-off, and they will send you a 1099-C in the mail, right? And that 1099-C is supposed to be filed on your taxes and included as income. But if you have a great tax specialist, and then that can be avoided legally as well. And often the third option, some banks, which I don't think they will be doing much of this now because of our health pandemic, but some banks will. Now, let me say this though, there is still court hearings for evictions and collection debt. So I'm not saying it won't happen. It could very well happen, right? Um, some banks will take you or the consumer or a person to court that has not paid on their credit card debt. And even in court, sometimes, or even through a phone call before you go to court, you can call most times and negotiate to pay even a third less of what the amount that you charge on the credit cards could be. Hello, 5G. Hello to you. And so those are just three different ways in which people can eradicate credit card debts uh, for less. And that's why I tell people all the time, why would you use credit cards to get liabilities and not assets? Why would you use a credit card to take a vacation, to buy a designer purse or a designer clothing, things that depreciate in value? If you're going to use a credit card and you get in a situation where your income has been interrupted and you can't repay that full amount, at least have some real assets, right? Have some real assets that you have obtained with that credit card, because in that way you still get to keep the assets because it's unsecured debt, right? Hello, India. Hello. I mean, Indiana, I'm sorry. Yeah, that 1099-C is and so then if it's reporting inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable, right, then you can get that removed off your credit report. The only thing is, I've seen some people with so many charge-offs on their credit report. I've seen so many people with so many charge-offs on their credit report that they have burned bridges with a lot of banks and they can't go back and get credit lines. In other words, they've been blacklisted. And Amex, Capital One, Bank of America, Discover, US Bank won't give them additional credit in the future because they've charged accounts off, and even though it's not appearing on their credit report, but that's okay sometimes too, because there's hundreds of banks you can do business with, right? But I hope that if it occurs that you get charged off, delete off your credit report, and the banks wrote it off as a tax write-off for them to save in taxes and their taxable income, that you do it better the second time around, because at some point your options of where you can go to get credit and credit cards, right, is going to be cut off, because of if you make this a habit, and if you're trying to play a game, right, then your game is going to be cut short, right, because at some point these banks will not extend you different credit cards. And so a lot of times people learn, they do better, they become better, and they restart off by getting accounts with credit unions. And they have high credit limits from there, but they're more responsible this time and using their credit cards, right? Crown, that's a great asset to do. He said purchase precious metal with credit cards. Absolutely. I love that. I advocate with that. Any tax book recommendation, lower your taxes big time. This is, lower your taxes big time. Sandy Botkin, CPA. You have to have a business tax deduction to apply many of these principles, but a great book, Keeping Records of Your Square Footage of Your Home Office for Your Home-Based Business, Auditing-Proof Your Home Office, How to Hire Your Children, right, in your business, even hire your spouse to get up to $12,000 of tax deduction. So when you're spending out food, groceries, your children may be in sporting events, it's great to have a home-based business. And the home office, you can save up to $15,000 wherever you reside in every 5 years, mileage on your vehicles. And when I say whatever you reside in, it means a house, apartment, a condo, townhouse, etc. Your mileage log, you are driving your vehicles anyway. They're going to depreciate anyway. So you might as well get your money back. Again, cash flow is just not money flowing to you or gifted to you, right? Is money flowing back to you that you have to spend out on everyday expenses, right? Your utilities, your cell phone, your internet, maintenance, right? If you have a home maintenance, these are qualifiable tax deductions if you have a home-based business. And I don't think I have the book on me right now or close to me, but I would recommend another book, but I just happen to have this one on my desk. Taking vacations, family travel, taking cruise ships. Says like drive. Let me read one line in it since I just opened up to the page. Take your business card for a family travel. Tax laws allow you to deduct the cost of your business trip. If you travel with non-business family members, you're allowed to deduct the cost you would have incurred had you taken the trip alone. And so what this means is that you could deduct your gas and tolls and increase your business mileage for your car or your vehicle. Let's say Tom drives 800 miles to a convention in Orlando, Florida, right? But he takes times with him and his family to sightseeing, and it takes 14 days to go 800 miles. The IRS would allow 3 business days as travel, so you would have to divide 800 into 300 to get your business tax deductions. And so this is what I tell people: if you have a business trip, right, a family trip, a family vacation, make it a business trip and get a portion of that trip tax deductible. Martin says he pay a portion when he pays bill. That's a great thing, especially if you have cash back reward credit cards to pay your bills with your credit cards, because just use your credit card like you would a debit card. However, you can get cash back for using it the same way. Eric, you're one of my credit clients. He said he just bought the book yesterday. So I hope that you're also one of my home-based business clients as well. So you can take full advantage of that and have money flowing back to you that you spent out. Yes, credit cards. Credit cards are great assets if you know how to use them. Credit cards are an asset. You know, some people look at them as a liabilities. I look at credit cards as an asset. If you know how to use them the right way, just like a weapon, if you use it to defend yourself and protect yourself and your family, your loved ones, they are great to have. But if you use them in the reversal method, and taking someone else's life or not being responsible with it, and someone mistakenly take their life because they didn't know how to use that weapon, then it's a liability, right? 5G says, when am I coming out with the Queen of Credit book? 5G, every time I try, I'm just telling you, and let's get into FICO 10. Every time I try, and I have a weekend that I have to do all of this with credit. I mean, every time I try, I don't know if y'all can really see this. It's just this many people, clients that I get. So my only option is to just force myself to not take clients for maybe a week or two, right? And to just sit down and focus on writing a book. That's going to be my only option, is just to have a cutout. And that's not even the affidavits that have to be mailed out Monday. It's also with people that sign up for credit consultations that I have to respond to. So every time I try to just take time to focus on getting that done, I have so many people that enroll for credit help, right? That I have to just don't have a lot of time, to get that done. But I'm going to have to find a way to get it done, because I was really trying to wait to until credit kind of slowed down, but it's not slowing down at all. And it's been that way for me since March, right? That's true. And I think it's because they don't know. And that's what my book will focus on, is how to use credit cards to make you richer, right? How to use credit cards to make you richer. Well, yeah, it is work. 5G. That's why when people ask me about teaching them how to start a business, I tell them, you're not ready for this. It's not easy. I make it look easy because I'm the queen, but it's not easy as I make it look. It's not as pretty as I make it look. As a matter of fact, someone working with the business, you know how I can't see. Okay, that's a little bit. Showed me this letter that business sent them for do-it-yourself credit repair. And it was just so simple things. They listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 accounts. I have no record of having an account with this company. Please investigate and remove it from my credit. That's what they put for one account. Please verify and correct part. Please verify the correct part on this account and remove from my credit report immediately. I do not have any record of that. I'm like, this is not going to get the credit agencies to budge, not one bit. So that's why I am so skeptical about do-it-yourself credit repair products, because they sell a very watered down, ineffective template letters that just don't get the results done. Just being honest, because even with me using all the law, like this is my daughter's, and this is just for one. I can't, but this is just for one medical collection. Let me turn it that way. And it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 laws included, and this just to get her medical collection deleted off her credit report for one collection. So when I see little watered down things like that, I just laugh at it, because it just doesn't work. And especially it's not working now because everything is strategically planned of them wanting to crash down on credit and make it harder, right? Make it harder. Yes, Jesus, that's it. Make it harder for people to have good credit. I'm just going to be honest. And I've been saying this since January. Yes, Jesus, thank you for answering that for Star. He's right. By Sandy Botkin, Botkin. Yeah, if you want to be wealthy, having access to the bank's money, right? TBM, or, it matters. It matters. Easy says book is residual income. I've been writing my book since May 15th. I put about 3 hours for 4 days a week, taking my time, but I'm finished. Need to publish it. Okay, congratulations. Easy. Honestly, it probably wouldn't even take me that long. All I have to do is just look at my notes and go back on some of my live streams and and just organize it. I would think it probably would take me a week or 2 for the actual writing component, but then I would have to publish it, get my cover together, get all of that part about the book that I don't know. But the actual organizing, writing, put it together, it probably would take me a week or 2 if I could just have that much time and uninterrupted time, right? That's why I tell people time and your health are your top 2 biggest assets, right? And time is money. You design a soapbox, and Brandon Weaver help. Absolutely. Yeah, I think Brandon does month to month. I'm more aggressive, and I have no idea who designed a soapbox is, but it's not that many people on YouTube who even talk about credit or that's helping in that area right now. So as far as helping you hands on, they'll sell you like a watered down do it yourself product, but not a lot of hands on help. So salute to Brandon as well. Credit rich and cash poor. That would be a good title because, and you know where we are going now with the resilience score, you're going to have some income. And that's why I tell people to get involved in our home-based business, because you're going to have some cash flow. You're going to have some income. Long gone are the days. See, with credit cards, and the reason why I like to teach people how to use credit cards to get richer in particular, not only is because you can qualify for 0% interest rates or single digits interest rate with credit cards, right? You can convert credit cards into cash. But credit cards used to be where you can just put your stated income and or your household income to qualify, right? Meaning that if you and some of your spouse and maybe your adult child was in the household working, you can combine and have all of that as your stated household income to qualify. But the resilience score now through FICO 10 is even making it harder to qualify through the stated income method, because they are looking to see what will your projected income status be. So it's going to take a combination of cash and credit right now during these times, and that's why the restructuring of the credit and the FICO 10 is happening in levels and in phases. But credit can definitely help you, right? Or used to be able to help you. If you can get the income, you might do 50. It might take you a year to earn 50,000, right? And maybe 1 hour to get 50,000 from the banks to invest with credit. Do you have to pay to find your FICO score? You would is www.fico.com. fico.com, and this is your true, right? Fair Isaac Corporation is what FICO stands for. They are the creators of the algorithm or the scoring system that gives you from your 850 to your 350 credit score, right? Their algorithm, those two men came together, Fair Isaac and came together and created this model years ago, and that's what banks and lenders use. So if you want to know your true credit score, right, just call FICO, then myfico.com. Jeremy Cash, credit cards. I also promote or speak about, and this is my channel, so I don't really call out people's names because this is my channel. I'm not trying to promote anybody else. They build themselves. But Jeremy Young, the Forex, let me see. He's been recommending a lot of people for me. So I have to start getting on Instagram more for credit repair. So I help those people, Jeremy Cash, CEO, to get credit cards and to build their credit up so they can get credit so they can trade in Forex. Another person, though, I don't mind giving a shout out to, I listen to him religiously on Periscope, and I'm going to allow you all to listen to some of him. He made a scope about FICO 10 today, right? I'm going to share that with you all, and then I'm going to log off because I do have a lot more credit to do. And so I need to cut his notifications on. Okay, I think I got it on. So we'll be in listen mode. Because sometimes I think you all need to hear a second voice. So let me get my volume up.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I just want to come on real quick and talk about a Facebook chain that someone had just started. And I was answering some questions on it and was very surprised just how many people's scores have changed. So I went and did some searches on Facebook and noticed that a lot of conversations today, or a lot of threads or posts have been around, their credit score swinging. So I want to come on and just kind of talk about this a little bit. Today is, what is it today, guys? August 23rd. So it's August 23rd. And okay, Billy, cool. Today is August 23rd, which means that we're about roughly 53 days since FICO 10 has been rolled out. So we're roughly about 53 days in since FICO 10 rolled out. So today, a pastor who's also on Periscope. Now I didn't get his permission to say who it is. He may come in here in a little bit, but a very popular pastor on Periscope had made a post today that had anybody noticed their credit score swinging drastically. And so several people had commented, and I posted on there, FICO 10 is being rolled out. It's been rolled out since July 1st, and many people are going to be experiencing their credit score swinging probably almost on a daily basis. More people will start to notice just because it's getting rolled out more and more each day. So there were several people on there. My credit score swung 45 points. One lady said that her and her husband's combined was about a 200-point difference, and they were very angry, and they have every right to be angry because no one knows the algorithm. No one knows, how they're determining who should get points swung which way or this way, and why those determinations are being made. So, this is why I've been warning everyone since the beginning of the year. It's been very, very concerning because, like I said, there was someone in my scope when FICO 10 first rolled out the first week in July that saw a 63-point decrease. But to see today a couple had combined about 200 points of their score changing, that's the biggest swing I've ever seen before, ever. And so the thing about it is that, it's very, very difficult to, it's very difficult, guys, to really keep allowing the scoring model to just beat you down. It's very difficult to come back from that. And this is why I tell people all the time, you can't ignore your credit, because the thing about it is that if you keep ignoring it, they're just going to keep beating it down. This is one of the reasons why I've been telling people you're going to need your score. This is one of the biggest indicators. Let me tell y'all something. The reason that this is happening, listen to me, guys. Listen to me really good. And I apologize, guys. I'm still really congested from my allergies, but I had to come on here and share this. The reason that this is happening, guys, is because there's going to come a point very, very soon, and I think it's going to be in the next 90 days, where people are going to desperately need their credit. Desperately. Whether it's for, access to more money, to get more credit limit increases, whatever it is. Because the thing about it, when people lose jobs and people run into situations where they don't have money financially, they turn to credit. They run up their credit cards, they take out loans, they do all this stuff. And so I personally believe, guys, the more research that I've done, the more it's becoming clear to me that many, creditors or lenders or anything like that, they are gearing up for what's about to take place. And they're going to make sure that people who they know cannot pay money back aren't going to get an opportunity to borrow any. That's what's about to happen.
So I'm going to stop that. I've been telling you all this since January. That FICO 10 would come. Everything is strategically planned. The perfect storm. When a lot of people are going to need credit, people have been straddling the fence. Some people have been taking weeks and months trying to do it themselves. And I've been telling you all, get with someone who that have helped hundreds of people get these accounts moving. And you've been listening. I can't say you haven't been listening, right? I cannot say you've been listening. But the thing is now with the U.S. Postal Service and things that's going on with that, right? Now your affidavits may get slower by mail, especially if we have the presidential election and mail-in ballots and coming up in November. So now it can take longer for your affidavits to get there, right? And that does not it. Let me tell you something. If the credit agencies don't respond to you in 30 calendar days, that is a law, right, under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. But even if you send in that second letter, asking them, you get ready to go? Another large chili. And let me know what salad I have. Some chicken nuggets. No bread. You go on the truck you want to. It's already cooked. Okay, so this is my daughter. She's gonna give me something to eat. But even if you send a second letter in saying they didn't respond to the first one, it still can take days. And the CFPB, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, is not backing up when the credit agencies don't respond. So it is a better way than to just use that method, because even that gives them 15 additional days to respond. And then it may take up to 5 days for them to receive the letter, which is still an additional 20 days, right? But it's still a strategy and it's still a law. But I just wouldn't bank on that, right? Get your online account set up so you can know what's hitting your credit score. I tell people all the time, set up Credit Karma for free to monitor Equifax and TransUnion, and then go set up Experian for free to monitor Experian, and you can get your results with them, right? Equifax, Credit Karma updates every 7 days. Experian will let you know your online disputes. So they may let you know in 8 days if that account was deleted or updated. So after 8 days, you can go ahead and put that second letter in instead of twiddling your fingers waiting for that 30 calendar day. And or you'll know in 8 days if it's been deleted, or 10 days, right? So let me read some comments. I'm not going to stay long. We're actually doing some things with my home-based business. They have the $10,000 giveaway for people who want to earn more income from home in a safe environment in this pandemic, right? Definitely for a one-time investment of $228. And taxes are going to increase in 2021, beginning in January. So if you're still employed and you want the legal way to get a payroll tax holiday out of your paycheck, and they also have a credit management system as well, but a great cash flow system, Cash Flow Club. I'll share you out a small glimpse of that because I think they're alive now. Of what we're doing from September 1st, we having a $10,000 giveaway for people that enroll more people into this business during this time who need extra income, or some people need income, period. Because again, remember I stated in the beginning that the $300 could only last for 3 weeks. And it can take weeks and months before people are actually seeing the unemployment payout. So congratulations to Zeus. He got $30,000 in credit card available. That's why I've been trying to tell people since January to get that credit available. Queen of Attraction says yes, because we saw them removing mailboxes out of some neighborhoods, which is going to cause delays. So I'm telling everybody, know how to check your disputes online, right? Know how to check your credit disputes online. It is the 30-day no response, people, is not the only law. It's not the only thing they have to do within 30 calendar days of receiving your dispute. And I call it low-hanging fruit. It's another law under the Fair Credit Reporting Act that states that on that 31st day, right, if they didn't do a certain thing that should be recorded on your credit report, you can print out your credit report, mail it back in to them, and then those accounts will be deleted. Now, I won't specify because I have some quote unquote credit gurus who watch my content and try to get my information, but it's more than one law that you can dispute if you haven't heard anything from the credit agencies in 30 calendar days. Calendar days includes the weekends as well, right? Okay, how to get involved in the business, but I'll share that with you. I'll share that with you. Let me tell you all something, Queen of Attraction, everyone. It's not what your credit score is, it's what you do with your credit. And I know you might be looking at me like, Queen, it's easy for you to say you don't have a 500, low 600. But if you have a credit score over 750 and you don't have assets, to me, you're no better than the person that has a 600 and no assets. Now, you may tell me, well, Queen, at least I have options, right? And it's great to have options, but have options and assets. Have options and assets. Listen, I work with people that have 800s, over 800 credit score. They have nothing but liabilities, nothing but a house to live in and a vehicle to drive. Credit is or should be used to create cash flow, just point blank. Oh, and let me specify this for somebody to say I'm drinking something. I'm drinking vitamin water. This is my lemonade flavored vitamin water. You have some people that have a low intellectual level that would say I'm drinking something else on here. So you have to, make your share. So a low 800s with liabilities. Well, let's get you a low 800s with assets, right? Let's get you a low 800 with assets. So this is one asset that I've been preaching to you all that you definitely need to invest in if you have a credit card with a credit limit to get you cash flow and income. And this is the home-based business. Let me share that because I think they're live.
Call 5 to 10 friends. So what happens is you end up reaching about 50 people if you just do 5 and 10 at a time in 5 and 10 different ways. So what we do is we don't talk a lot, we ask questions. Have you ever heard of? Okay,
that's something else. That's more of the training. That's a training for people that's already in the business that's going on now. I just share a short clip with you because Brian is doing a training for people who are already in the business. We have private trainings.
$1,000, $500.
This is just a short clip that I shared on my page.
$30. What they're talking about basically is how often they get paid, right? Let me show you on my phone here. 5 o'clock. Man, I got a million text messages. 5 o'clock was a long time ago. Okay. So every single day at 5 o'clock, I get this text message. Congratulations, Brian, you just earned $500. Congratulations, Brian, you just earned $500. We get paid 10 ways. That's $15,000 right here. $500. Congratulations, Brian. Today you just made $500. Yesterday, $500. The day before, $500. August 14th, $500. How much money would you like to make per day? Let's just see what happens, right? Guys, between $5 and $1,000, light the comments up for me. How much do you want to make per day? Jason Upton, let's show them how to do it, man. How you feel?
I feel good. I'm very, very, very happy to be here. Extremely happy.
Jason, the last time you were on the webinar with me, man, the ladies lost their mind, and your wife had to come and she put me in the headlock. Okay, so I'm just letting you know that Southern accent, man. It's gonna get you in trouble again. But just talk to me like we boys and tell your wife, I'm your bodyguard. You ready?
Yeah, hey, Brian's got me.
Hey man, you gotta love the South. So Jason, check this out, man. A lot of people watching. The pandemic has changed or magnified some of our problems. Give me two of the problems. Talk about inflation and taxes and why these guys have to get prepared for how the pandemic has increased those things and why now it's the time to get prepared.
What people don't understand is that with this stimulus check that went out, it got paid out, the $1,200 or whatever it was that people got, that's going to be paid back pretty soon. And what's going to happen is they're going to raise taxes. Gas prices go up, grocery prices have gone up. Actually, have already gone up. Gas prices starting to go up. Everything's starting to go up. So you're still making your $1,000, and things have increased, to $2,000. So you're behind. The dollar has lost value. So if you're not owning a home-based business or doing something else, you're going to fall way behind and get further in debt, and your taxes will continue to increase. So you need to look at something different to change that situation.
So how do we fight this inflation, Jason? We got people making $20 a day, obviously. We got people making $30 a day, obviously. What is inflation? You talked about the value of the dollar dropping, but how does our money help combat that? Because I looked at my receipt the other day, man. There was a COVID fee. Like, if you guys look closely at your receipts, restaurants and stuff like that, they're making up for COVID. But Jason, you get paid every single day, and how does this daily pay help people combat that?
Well, it helps you increase your income and increase your cash flow to help put more money in your household to actually pay other bills that you normally couldn't pay because people have been out of work.
I'm going to pause. That's me and my little gold jacket. I'm in the $900 of daily pay income, but I'm striving to get to $50, and then the next level is $100. You can get up to $500, and I'm talking about daily pay. That's just my daily pay, right? Is 9 other ways to get paid. I get a presidential bonus. I get a vehicle bonus. In this home-based business, I get $600 more because I still do get a paycheck on this bracket, but I convert my paycheck to this side so that I can get taxed less. I still get tax benefits in forms of refunds as a part of it. And I have my own payroll, pay tax holiday. Now, when it comes to this, my own credit consultation and everything, it takes all of my personal time and physical time. With the home-based business, the passive income is so much more easier to make because you do the work one time and you don't have to do it again. You always have to recycle and repeat what I do when I'm doing credit coaching, consultation, or repair. And you always have to reteach as well, right? I always have to recycle, repeat your clients and reteach because I have to teach people how to work with me. It's not do it yourself, right? Because from what I've seen, those platforms are not highly effective, and it's not a done for you, it's a done with you. And so I have to tell clients, teach them how to work with me, right? Don't send me several text messages via phone if you haven't done what you're supposed to do and sent me your updates via email, right? Especially when I have a video made to show you how to pull your Experian report and to how to check and pull your Credit Karma report. And let me tell you something, the letters that I showed you out from someone that's doing your do-it-yourself, not one time do these letters address for this person anything that removes their addresses. So credit repair businesses and credit, what I do in credit consultation, you may be saying, Queen, why is that a big thing? I don't care. You should care how many addresses are reported on your credit report because it lowers your score every from 2 to 5 points for every address over one address reporting, and also whatever negative account that's connected to that address, wherever you were residing at, and you receive mail at the time that that account went into default, and they were sending you letters about their collection. They were sending you letters about you haven't paid that credit card in 3 months. Wherever they were sending those letters to notify you that your account was negative, wherever you filed that bankruptcy on that address, if you have since moved or you've relocated, you have a different address. Well, when you try to challenge and dispute that account, if the previous address, not only does it lower your credit score, but it ties you to that negative account. But if you can get the address deleted, you can get the account deleted, and it makes your credit profile much prettier, and bankers look at it and say, hey, this is a stable person. They haven't lived at 5 or 6 addresses in the last couple of years. Their credit profile was stable. I feel confident in lending to them. And especially when I'm dealing with military people, my God, they can have up to 15 addresses reporting. And all of those addresses are connected with negative accounts. And they're lowering their credit report by 2 to 5 points. In addition to non-military people, just people that with low income that just move around a lot. And they have a lot of addresses reported, right? And those, when you get the address deleted, not only does it add 2 to 5 points, but it also helps you get those negative accounts deleted faster and more permanently. And it helps your credit profile looks that pretty credit, right? In which banks and lenders want to lend to you. So that's why I do credit consultation and coaching, and I don't do credit repair business, because a credit repair business will not delete or remove those addresses. They will not update your profile. They cannot help you with inquiry removal, and their letters are often very watered down, which means they don't include many laws of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, which is what 100 pages long. If you have a letter that's only giving you one law, then you probably have a problem, right? And getting accounts deleted, right? So this is my time. This is my hour of fame. I'm over an hour and 17 minutes. I got to get back to stuffing envelopes and getting people prepared for Monday morning. You all have a great, great night. Just know, right? Just know that your credit cards are assets. And if you need to make money from home in a safe way where you're not going into other people's houses and putting your health at risk because of this pandemic, or you don't have to travel to, you want to make it right out of your residency, you need to go to this website and partner with me so you can get paid 2 different ways from home, right? From home. Eric, I'm going to answer this question. He says, is it good to invest in corn laundry? Eric, honey, we're in the corn shortage. We're in the corn shortage. I would not. We are in a quote unquote corn shortage. I think if they have a way of going digital, right? If the laundry max will go digital when the dollar shifts digital, I think in January 2021, and if they have digital systems in place, then yes, that will be a great investment. But for right now, I will hold out in doing it. Right. All right, you all have a great night. This is to your peace and prosperity, your health and your wealth, and your credit and your cash flow. Queen of Credit out. You are so welcome. You're so welcome on Periscope. Thank you for tuning in.